better.
Be a third consecutive leg for Damon here.
64.
Previous match
Damon requires 68.
saw German Martin Schindler trail 3-1 and rally. Could be a similar scenario early here for Nico Springer. It is the same scenario. 3-1 Damon Heta. And from dropping the opening leg on throw, it's been all Damon Heta since.
That was a beautiful guide for the double 16, wasn't it? 48 left, 16 for double 16, and he's just put that first dart
60.
exactly where he would have wanted it, just to slide in next to it.
93.
Nico Springer is actually in the provisional spots for the European Championship right now. And we did, of course, see Wesley Pleisier very nearly get to the European Championship last year. In fact, he got so close, I thought he had got there at one point.
There's a misunderstanding on the tie-break rule there,
Yes.
wasn't there? Bit harsh on him.
It was harsh on him, yeah.
I'm not a massive fan of the way he got in, didn't get in on that rule. It was ultimately Ratajski that picked him.
But Nico, obviously, he's not a tour card holder. He's not going to be in as one of the top two Germans. He has to come through the host nation qualifiers, which can mean winning 5, 6 games. And they're just to get to the ones in Germany. He could, of course, play in the associate members qualifier to get into the other ones. We don't know how many more times we're going to see him on the European tour. But if he could win this game and put a big old chunk of money on his ranking, who knows? Maybe he could force his way to Dortmund in the European Championship.
97.
I'm convinced we'll see a bit more of him. I'll see a bit more of him this evening. He's not out with this match yet. That's sloppy from Heta, and you look at the reaction. Nowhere near the treble 18. Totting up. And that one just slides next door.
Your requirement 130.
May only get one dart at a double. He's allowed back to the board. Nice open bullseye. Can he hit it?
107.
Saw Michael Van Gerwen hit that in the first match of the day, early on. 4-1 for Heta. If he hits the double 8, and he does, and it's all very neat and tidy without being spectacular from Damon, but it's 4 successive legs. And he's in command of this last 16 tie.
Yeah, the finishing's been good from Damon Heta. No massive checkouts. A couple in the 60s, a 20 and a 31. He's only missed 2 darts at double.
97.
Switch.
Winner of this will face a Dutchman in the quarterfinals. It's either Danny Noppert, the former UK Open champion, the Dutch number 2, or the Dutch number 3, Dirk van Duijvenbode, who came so very close to picking up his first big stage title in the PDC last weekend on the Euro Tour in Leverkusen.
Did get treated to the extended version of Dirk's walk-on last night. We'll get the same.
Big fan of the hard style music, Webby. Is it on your iPod?
It's got to be, isn't it?
Yeah.
Just has to be. I have topped up my iPod with the old Euro Tour anthems since I've been commentating over the last 3 years. Not to everyone's taste, but I love it.
Well, Damon Heta nowhere near the treble 20. Goes down the board in search of a treble and can't find one there either. Nico Springer is being given a little bit of breathing space in the leg for a change.
Good setup from Nico Springer. And this is the kind of leg he needed. Just a no-nonsense leg. Still got to pin the double 18. It just needed to keep the breaks at 1 breaker through. He's still got a lot to do here. First and foremost, take care of your own throw. 36 and 4-2.
9. Last start saves him there, Nico Springer, and you see from the reaction that meant something. Only had 1 dart at double in the 3 previous legs. That was one of the ball that he'd missed for the 1-3-2.
125.
Heta, though, it's much the same approach. hold your throw twice. Sounds simple, but it's a lot more. It's a simpler, a lot less pressure when you know you've got the darts as well. Break a throw, effectively a double break. There's one the decider, and there's that celebration. The Hetters trying to employ the Leighton Hewitt one.
60.
You see there's a little bit more pace about the action right now, Damien Heta. He's starting to feel a little bit more comfortable. That gets Nico Springer to a finish, just as a reminder to the Aussie number 1. 14 for tops. 5-2.
53.
Saw a 1-6-1 in the match between Johnny Clayton and Dave Chisnell, which give Johnny complete control of the match. It would have changed the match here, but Nico can't get the first treble. Heta, 3 double 10, if needed, to go one away.
That's a good one he can use, but he doesn't. It's the first time in the match we've seen him do that. 3 darts at a double, he misses all of them, and Nico Springer, who was miles back in this leg, could get a break back.
First time Heta's blinked since dropping the opening leg.
Oh, why didn't he stay on the treble 20, surely?
Begging for it, wasn't it?
I mean, you require.
Still awkward though. Heta, double 5. Great guide. And it's a guide is used. 5-2. He's almost there, Heta.
I'd like Nico to throw first.
It's only a 90 average. It was good enough last week at this stage of the tournament. It looks like it's going to be good enough again, but it's another little sign that Damien Heta is not quite at the peak of his powers at the minute.
If you're not at the peak of your powers and you can still start nicking quarterfinals, there's something there, isn't there?
With no exaggeration, he was one of the top performers statistically on the tour last year in the floor events, the Euro Tour. The standard he was playing at rivaled everybody. He didn't have the haul of titles of some other players. Of course, he did win in Gibraltar. He had so many quarterfinal and semi-final runs. He just won a lot of games of darts. As you play at the levels he did, you're going to do that.
Back up that consistency level. He was seeded 1 at Minehead, wasn't he?
Yes, there you go.
That just echoes how consistent he was on the floor. Those tournaments are taken solely from the floor events in Barnsley, Wigan and Milton Keynes and Leicester. Heta was seeded 1. I mean, didn't do any good. He lost to Pietreczko, but he still played well.
Yeah, I mean, he only picked up 2 of those floor titles and then picked up the Euro Tour and the World Cup as well. I mean, obviously, that's a brilliant year. It's his best year, but to be honest, it wouldn't have been a surprise if he'd doubled those numbers with the way that he was playing.
But by playing at the standard he has, you're rightly going to get tipped for bigger things, and we expect more from Damien Heta, and he expects more for himself. He's had the taste of victory, and once more, I'm sure he'll get more.
Won't get the taste of victory just yet in this game. He's relying on Nico Springer to miss 3 darts at a double. We've seen one comeback from a German talent this afternoon already, Martin Schindler. Nico Springer is doing his best to produce another.
Heta with the darts. And Nico needs 3 successive legs. He's already 4, it'll be in fact. We've just got one of them, 2 of them against the darts. It's a big ask still. Heta still in control.
100.
I think there we see the big difference in this game. Nico Springer has had a lot of 1 treble visits. Damien Heta has had far more 2 treble visits. He's just been a little bit sharper in the scoring. That's bought him some more opportunities. And for most of this game, he's been pretty good at taking them. There's not been a huge amount in this, but Heta has got himself in front and stayed in front. You can see there, 12 two-treble visits compared to Nico's 5.
Professional job from Heta. You'd expect him to complete it from here. They look at 25. Wow, 40s, 81 when you're thrown for the match at the 9 darts. You'll more than settle for that.
This is wonderful from Nico Springer. But it may be in vain.
Might be his last visit. Oh, what a way to finish. 11 dart leg for Heta. Brilliant way to book his spot in the quarterfinals. Another impressive display by Nico Springer on the European Tour stage here in Riesa for his end tier. But it's Heta who goes through to the quarterfinals. He will face the winner of the All Dutch Fair, Dirk van Duijvenbode and Danny Noppert. That's up next. For now, Heta into a quarterfinal on the Tour for the second consecutive week. He wins by 6 legs to 3.
Damon Heta zieht ins Viertelfinale der Interwetten International Darts Open ein. Damon, congratulations. The Australian flag quite literally flying high there in the crowd as well. That was a very professional job that you did there on young Nico.
Yeah, I knew what I was coming into. The last couple of days I watched him and, man, he produced some great averages and no fear and obviously taking out Dim and, man, I felt nervous coming up but I felt ready for it. I was too ready for it, you could say. Yeah.
So that is the thing. You guys, you do watch the others back when you're practicing, and you do realize when a young kid, a newcomer, is putting in a great performance.
Oh, 100%. And man, the last 2 Euros you see him on, if his names keep popping up, then you're like, oh, you've got to take notice. These young punks, they're trying to take us down. And man, look, all credit to Springer, man. I just said to him then, I said, mate, I guarantee 100% I'll see you on the tour and you'll probably take it out on me then. So, fair play to him and, yeah, good luck to him.
You did already win one European Tour event. Last year, the one in Gibraltar. What would it mean to you to win the 100th European Tour event in history? That would be something special, surely.
Mate, it would be absolute massive. Not just for myself, but for the actual... Yeah, the 100th one. Are you kidding me? Then I might get known for something. I don't know. But, look, this amazing crowd as well. Absolute credit to you all. Loving it here. And thanks for your support. And, man, there's not too many whistles and boos and all that. So, man, loving it. Yay. Have a good time this weekend. And I can't wait to see you all in the next one, eh?
Damon, congratulations. Great performance, great win. Best of luck tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, the Heat, Damon Heta. Welcome back to Risa, where the quarter-final lineup is taking shape. An 11-dart leg from the Aussie #1 Damon Heta, our champion on the European Tour in Gibraltar at the back end of last year, was enough to snuff out any hopes of a fight back from Nico Springer, whose brilliant weekend comes to an end in the last 16. A 94 average from the heat, and as you see, that 11-darter, the best leg of the match, the one to close it out for a 6-3 win. He's not playing his very, very best, but even so, Damon Heta is still a threat, and he'll be back tonight to see if he can conjure up his best and take another Euro Tour crown. 5 players are through to the last 8 already. It's not gone the way of the favourites in some of those matches. Nathan Aspinall beaten by the German #2 Martin Schindler, so he will have German representation tonight. Dave Chisnell, our winner in Kiel on the Euro Tour, beaten by Johnny Clayton, and Michael Van Gerwen and Peter Wright in that top quarter final as well. Damon Heta awaits the winner of our next game. It's an all-Dutch affair, and it's about to get very loud here in the Saxon Arena as Danny Noppert takes on the Titan, Dirk van Dijvenbode.
Herzlich willkommen zurück zur Interwetten International Darts Open 2023. Die Achtelfinalsession live und präsentiert von der PDC Europe hier aus der Sachsen Arena in Riesa. Unser nächstes Match ist ein niederländisches Duell. Wir begrüßen auf der Bühne die aktuelle Nummer 8 der Welt mit 3 Titeln auf der Pro Tour. Er ist der frühere UK Open Champion. Hier kommt The Freeze, Danny Noppert. Sein Gegner ist die Nummer 11 der Welt mit 5 Titeln auf der Pro Tour. Ein World Grand Prix Finalist. Hier kommt The Titan, Dirk van Dijvenbode.
is a Dutch aubergine farmer on a big stage leading a chorus of 2,500 people, some of them dressed as giant giraffes to hard-style music. What of it? This is the International Darts Open. And we have two men here, both in the top dozen in the world rankings, both in their early 30s, both multiple title winners in professional darts, and both title winners this year as well. But neither of them has won a European Tour title. And one of them could put that right this weekend in Riesa. Dirk van Duijvenbode came so close last week. He had darts to win it against Gerwyn Price in the final. Danny Noppert has repeatedly made finals of these events and hasn't been able to get over the line. It's an intriguing clash, this. Noppy is the Dutch number 2. Dirk is the Dutch number 3. But right now, with 2 titles already this year, and he's been close to adding more, you might say that Dirk van Duijvenbode is the informed player. You might say, behind Price and maybe MVG, there's nobody else in better form than Dirk van Duijvenbode on planet Earth. Chris Murphy is alongside me to find out which man prevails.
Yeah, really similar characters, this pair, aren't they, Dan? Could not be more contrasting. The similarities end in the ability on the hockey, don't they? Dirk van Duijvenbode, an explosive, animated ball of energy. Danny Noppert, the quiet, considered, business-like player. But they can both do that, time and time again.
They can, although nobody can do it as much as Dirk. Not at the minute. On the Euro Tour this year, he's been brilliant. He's only had one poor game, and he won that against Richard Veenstra. Everything else, his average has been at least 96, and sometimes a lot higher than that. You're expecting excellence from the Auberginians. Although you should expect excellence from Danny Noppert as well, because he is such a dangerous player. You don't become world number 8 by accident.
74.
Dirk has won the last 2 battles between the pair. That ended a 4-match losing streak against Noppert. Stretched back to 2020, including on a big stage, and it was something of a demolition job at the European Championship. 10-3 to DVD, an average of 104 on that occasion.
Yeah, a bit of revenge for that defeat in the quarterfinals of the match play, wasn't it? Where Danny got the better of him.
A much more evenly matched encounter on that occasion. Oh, this is sensational. Started with a maximum and then takes out an enormous 150 finish to end the opening leg.
Yeah, if you're looking at their meetings, while Danny Noppert has edged it, he's won 6 of their 10 meetings. There have been some annihilations at the hands of Dirk van Duijvenbode. The European Championship you mentioned, he was done 6-2 on the Pro Tour towards the back end of last year. And Dirk beat 6-0 at the European Championship back in 2020. That was kind of as he was rising into the player that he is now. And the worrying thing for everybody else is it's only in recent weeks that Dirk van Duijvenbode has said, this is the first time I'm playing without any pain in my arm. One of the things that's held him back in his career is this chronic injury that he's had. And if that is gone, imagine what this man could achieve.
Yeah, we had a little bit of a chat about him yesterday in finals, reaching those big stage finals, and you made the point that he seems to be getting closer and closer each time.
81.
One little worry that I had was that in a couple of those close finals, in fact both against Gerwyn Price, there's been moments towards the end of the match where he seems to have a bit of a meltdown, just the demeanour completely changed.
87.
Part of it was after splitting with 2 darts available in the European Darts Open last week.
But does he just need to win one?
Yeah, possibly.
Is it a Michael Smith situation? A Peter Wright situation? 54 and ball for Danny. Got the 54. And he's got the bullseye as well. What a start to this contest.
Third leg goes to throw
Yeah,
first.
150 Van Dijvenbode, followed by a 1-2-2 on the bull for his opponent.
96.
Yeah, you might well be right. Maybe you just need to taste that winning feeling on a big stage. Just it's the demeanour more than anything. Look, I'm not a mind reader,
58.
but when he has got into those moments during a last leg, almost see him, a couple of trebleless turns and start to think, oh, it's happening again.
Well, that may be so. But it's not as if we haven't seen him do incredible things under pressure in deciding legs before. Think about him beating Rob Cross at the World Championship, where I think it was a 12 darter without a single treble 20. It was loads of treble 19s and took out 99, single 19, tops in a last leg decider to win at Ali Pali.
57.
And he is a player that's so explosive and has this such incredibly high ceiling of performance. A bit like when Michael Smith won the World Championship.
90.
And I felt a little concerned that if this gets close, Michael Smith might struggle to beat Michael Van Gerwen. But you know what he could do? He could blast him off the board. A bit like Peter Wright did in his first World Championship final. It's 3 180s now for Dirk Van Dijvenbode in 3 legs.
Yeah, trying his best to blast Danny Noppert off the board here.
123.
Savage deflection. Costs him a few points.
Score.
Might actually prove to be costly,
Danny require 125.
unless he can add another 3-figure finish. We've had 2 in 2 legs. Oh, that looks... He's going treble 17. Double 12.
101.
I thought the bull looked inviting, but maybe it looked too inviting.
That's what I thought. I think he probably would have found another bullseye. Dirk taking an age to find double 14. An age! Eons!
Danny require 24.
So Noppert can nick it,
Shown a third leg.
and he has.
Danny Noppert.
Having lost that first leg, that explosive start from Van Dijvenbode. Noppert's seen his fellow Dutchman miss 6 at the same double and picked his pocket for a 2-1 lead with a break to boot.
Well, Danny Noppert,
57.
you're comparing their styles. He's very much a rapier. He's precise. He's swift. He's delicate. Finds a way through a stiletto through your armour. Dirk Van Dijvenbode is a massive flipping boulder on the end of a big dirty stick, and he will hit you with it until you give up.
Yeah, it's power against precision, isn't it?
Yes.
Thierry Henry against Alan Shearer. Maybe even Duncan Ferguson.
Here comes the big stick from Dirk. It's only 98. It's surprising when he gets the first dart in the treble, he groups them so tightly together, you're expecting at least a ton 40.
Noppert, of course, does have that experience of
45.
lifting a big un. Lots of Premier League chat involving these 2 players included in the conversation. Do you think they'd add something to it?
Absolutely. I think Dirk Van Dijvenbode is the most exciting player in the world and has been for some time. Not saying he's the best player.
I hate to give Dan Dawson credit and avoid it at all costs, but he had been saying that for a long time before Dirk really did explode.
4 in 4. Nobody hits more of those in the world. It's a recipe for exciting darts, massive scores, and yes, some missed doubles.
80.
Well, don't miss any more.
32.
Does miss more.
Game shown.
He puts it right and breaks back. And it's another thing that you can afford to do a little bit more of, isn't it, when you hit that many 180s?
It's the version 1.1 of Gary Anderson was this, wasn't it? When people were saying, how is this guy has got more talent than the vast majority of people we've ever seen. He just doesn't seem to be able to get over the line in some of the big tournaments, or not as regularly as he should, because he'd miss a load of doubles. But he found a way to put that right, and all of a sudden, Gary Anderson was a 2-time world champion, and at times looked like the best player in the world.
Well, yeah, I mean, if he puts it all together, he lands another one of those inevitable 180s, then we're going to see not just some big performances, not just some big titles, but some record-breaking stats.
I mean, I do think he is the sort of player who, a bit like Jose de Sousa 3 years ago or whatever, he might break the 120 mark, and he might do it more than once if he carries on like this. Leaves the 170, and when you're an enormous 180 hitter, 170s aren't that different. Not enough to leave a finish for Danny Noppert, so he doesn't need to go for this dirt. Not going to get a chance anyway.
59.
Damon Hesse, the Australian #1, awaits.
It's a really decent Dutch derby, this. A match that's going maybe the way you'd expect it to go. That Van Duijvenbode firing in maximum after maximum, missing the odd opportunity, and Noppert picking up the pieces when he can.
79.
And he's got a chance to do that again here.
Danny Noppert has only had 3 darts at double in this match. Van Duijvenbode has had 10. When Danny Noppert gets his 4th dart here, he can go 3-2 up. And that's exactly what's happened. The rapier is outwitting the big boulder on a stick at the moment.
Yeah, one of those darts as well was at the bullseye, which he hit for the 1-2-2 checkout in leg 2. Always animated, always wears his feelings on his face. Usually pumped after hitting a big score or annoyed after missing a double. Or 8, as it would be the case in this match.
The technique of Van Duijvenbode means he groups the darts close together. So even if it's not a 180, if he gets one anywhere else that he wants to follow it, he's got a very good chance of doing it.
Not but more deliberate. I actually get a feeling over time, and maybe with confidence, that Noppert's game has quickened a little bit.
I think it has, yeah.
There was a time, wasn't it, where his darts would land in sort of different strange angles, and maybe that was part of the reason that he played at a slightly more pedestrian pace. Looks very confident with these.
Yeah, I think he's become a better player. He's not done it. He's not taken some quantum leap like Dirk has done over the last few years. He's just got progressively better and better. And he is a major champion. And Dirk Van Duijvenbode has played 5.5 legs of darts and has hit 6 180s. And he might go 4-2 down. Well, he won't, not just yet anyway.
It was almost a surprise that he only managed to hit a couple in 9 legs against Gabriel Clemens yesterday. Finishing was on point in that one, though. Double 18. And that is pinpoint. And we do go level again, and Noppert turns away, knowing once again he was in a decent position. But this one is back on throw.
He'd left himself on tops after 12 darts on throw, and normally that gives you a decent chance. But when you're up against a player of Dirk's calibre, and particularly his style, his big scoring style, then you do get the feeling there are going to be 11 and 12 darters in there.
Knocking on the door of the top 10 in the world, Dirk Van Duijvenbode. The seedings for this done from the Pro Tour order of merit. Noppert currently 8th. It'd be the first time in a while that we've seen 3 Dutchmen in the top 10, wouldn't it?
Certainly would. Wasn't that long ago the Dutch darting media were wringing their hands and worrying about the state of Dutch darts. So looks in very, very good health. I'll just give him another one. Oh. Well, he won't hit a 180 in this leg. But if he does, he really won't like it.
He's been there before.
Yes. reckons it ruined his career for a good couple of years, busting his score with an accidental 180 against Raymond van Barneveld at the World Championship. Ruined his confidence, set him back.
Well, he survived, and now he's one of the most thriving darts players on tour. Looking to get his nose in front now in this game for the first time since that explosive opening leg.
54. Don't require 47. Game sharpness.
And a 14-darter puts Dirk van Duijvenbode into the lead again. He was 1-0 up, 2-1 and 3-2 down, and now it's swung back in his favour. It's a tight game. It's kind of what we expected. One man is scoring incredibly, one man is finishing incredibly, and it's whether Dirk van Duijvenbode can finish sufficiently well enough to shut down those opportunities for Danny Noppert. Did team up, of course, together for the Netherlands in the World Cup of Darts when Michael van Gerwen wasn't involved. I thought they were the dream team. I thought they would bring the best out of each other. In the end, they couldn't quite get the job done.
Yeah, when Noppert and MVG have played together, that's been a rather strange dynamic, hasn't it?
It's not been dissimilar with Dirk and MVG. I think he's such a dominant figure that it actually increases the pressure on his teammates.
Do spend some time together away
yes,
from
they do.
the hockey as well, so it might be a better camaraderie.
40.
Does that matter?
I've never seen Danny Noppert with anybody.
Lone Wolf.
I'm looking forward to the World Cup this year, the change that's been implemented
65.
by the PDC. All of the matches will be played as pairs matches. Many of you watching this would have called for it, and now you've got it. Enjoy it.
Yes, if he's rubbish, it's your fault.
77.
I don't think it will be. I think it'll be great.
Require 96.
Or will this be great? Well, that's not great.
Well, it's the one leg where Dirk has not done anything with the scoring. So Danny Noppert wins it by 230 points nearly.
Ninth leg. Turns for first.
Well, we're still none the wiser. Van Duijvenbode still averaging in three figures.
60.
But just dropped below that without scoring a treble in that opening visit. And Danny Noppert will look to pounce here.
Well, the trebles are just drying up a little bit over the last 3 or 4 minutes for Dirk van Duijvenbode. Danny Noppert does not look like he's going to miss many darts at double.
Yeah, just the one, and it didn't matter, did it?
60.
Double 12 in the third leg, which he took out next dart anyway.
$60.
60s across the board in this leg. Every leg is crucial, but this
97.
would swing it back in Noppy's favour. Dirk may run out of time to try and regain control. He's not doing it, Noppy.
Yeah, lost control of his darts. DVD keeps in control of the match. Just a little drop there. Big deep breath. And a recompose.
More like it.
Wow.
Much more like it. Noppy needs to fill it up to get to a finish. Not going to do that. Dirk van Duijvenbode knows he's got 2 visits from here. Doesn't have to go in the next visit, but he'll want to leave himself at least 2 darts at a double in his second visit.
$98.
He's managed that. But Noppert will know that Van Duijvenbode has been liable to miss.
100.
Would have hoped
Don't you require
to put himself in a position to punish. Can't. That alleviates the pressure. Maybe just helps Van Duijvenbode over the line in the leg, and he's now 1 leg away from the winning line.
Big puff of the cheeks from from the Titan there. Knows that in the end, it felt pretty stress-free, but that was an opportunity for Danny. Only an 18-dart holder throw. Oh, here we go.
100.
Little step as well, just maybe stop the rhythm, but he just liked the lie of that dart so much he wanted to follow it straight underneath. A little like this.
100.
And the amount that he moves, Dirk van Dijvenbode, just as a person, I'm surprised he doesn't throw every single dart from a different position on the hockey. Cannot contain himself. Danny Noppert just about containing him in the game. Are we heading towards a one-leg shootout to see which of this Dutch duo will be in the quarterfinals tonight?
It is a stupendous seventh maximum from Dirk van Dijvenbode in just 10 legs of darts. And it might be the one that helps him get over the line.
58. Dirk require 121.
He fancies it. He wants it done now. Rebel 17 would have left the ball. Noppert gets a chance.
41.
It's an outside
And
chance.
you require 145.
He's only missed one dart at double. He can only get one dart at double for this. But he doesn't even get that. It was a tall order. But these can be awkward. I assume he's going on the 20s. It could be double-double. It might be the 16s. It's at the top of the board. It is double-double.
But it gives him a second dart at double.
70. Danny, you require
Characteristic
60.
is a perfect first dart. Took a bit of time over it. Danny has been deadly on doubles, and that continues. And we do go the distance in this Dutch darting derby.
Dirk to throw first.
Danny Noppert is 9 points behind in the averages, but he has only missed 2 darts at double in the entire match. He may only need one little sliver of an opportunity to steal this game away from Dirk van Dijvenbode. But can the Aubergenius prevent him from crafting that chance?
81.
I'm not sure Dirk will know how if he loses this match.
140.
Remember, 7 maximums. That's his 9th score of over 130 in the game as well, including that 150 checkout that started off
60.
what has been a really gripping affair. Because the differences that we described at the start of the match have just been evident.
And it is another one. It's number 8 as Dirk van Dijvenbode looks to bludgeon Danny Noppert into submission with his heavy scoring. And for all his finishing prowess, for all his wily brilliance, Danny Noppert, sometimes you just cannot live with this brutality.
Yeah, well, that shouldn't matter.
44.
It was so powerful from Dirk van Dijvenbode that Noppert is not in finishing range. Can't pick a pocket from such a distance.
Dirk, you require
Can he finally wrap it up?
Double 16 for Dirk to win it 6-5. An enthralling contest. The two Dutchmen putting on a show, but it is the brutal scoring of Dirk van Dijvenbode that prevails, and he's through to the final session on the European Tour once again. He is going to take some stopping again this weekend. Only Gerwin Price could do it by the skin of his teeth in Leverkusen. It'll be down to Damon Heta in the quarterfinals to try and arrest the Aubergenius' charge here in Riesa.
Der Titan Dirk van Duivenbode steht im Viertelfinale der Interwetten International Darts Open. Dirk, congratulations. That was much closer in the end than what it needed to be. You completely outscored him. Your average was 11 points higher than Denny's, but you gave yourself trouble there on the doubles.
Yeah, I forgot about my average, that it was 11 points higher. I should have known, but no. I was a bit nervous, and yeah, the double 14-6 darts, if I take that out, I think it will be an easy game, but I didn't take it out because I was a bit nervous, and in the end, you're just happy that you win, because, yeah, could have gone the other way.
Scoring power was incredible in that game. 8 180s in 11 legs of darts. That is your trademark. You are one of the best 180 hitters. You needed it in that match to give yourself a bit of time on the doubles.
One off?
The best 180 hitter.
Okay, yeah. No, I knew I was 6 out of 6, so I wanted to go one ahead, and then I was thinking too much about the 180s, and I didn't hit him anymore. But when I needed him, I came back. Yeah, I'm just happy.
Next round, Damon Heta, a player that you did not beat so far. 4 matches against him, he won all 4 of them. So that statistic needs a bit of rectifying.
Yeah, but I think I should have won more of the 4. But Damon is a very hard player. He never missed doubles, so that's what I did every time I played him. I think I was better in 3 out of 4 games, but he won all 4. So stage games, I don't matter about statistics. It's all about me and the board. And who's ever against me, I want to beat him. So, same tonight.
Dirk, congratulations. It was an entertaining match to watch. Best of luck tonight in the quarterfinals. Ladies and gentlemen, the Titan, Dirk van Duivenbode.
Well, after an exciting, entertaining, explosive encounter between the Dutch duo Dirk van Dijvenbode and Danny Noppert, it is the Titan who fills the 6th spot in tonight's quarterfinals, winning a tight one between himself and the Freeze. A 6-5 success for DVD, who moves through to play Damon Heta tonight, an average just over 100, largely down to the fact that he fired in an astonishing 8 180s, and that helped him have more opportunities at the outer ring. Noppert much better in that department, but just could not live with the scoring power of one of the biggest hitters in world darts. And as mentioned, Dirk plays Damon Heta in the quarterfinals tonight. What a start to the last day action this evening, as Michael van Gerwen will take on Peter Wright. Johnny Clayton knocked out Dave Kisnell, the winner of the first European Tour event of the year, and he will face the German Martin Schindler. But the next couple of matches will determine the last quarter-final clash this evening. Gerwyn Price in action against Mike De Decker, but first, the best of friends become the worst of enemies as Josh Rock meets Rob Cross.
Willkommen zurück zur Interwetten International Darts Open 2023. Die Achtelfinale live und präsentiert von der PDC Europe hier aus der Sachsen Arena in Riesa. 2 Partien stehen noch an in dieser Sonntagnachmittagssession. Wir begrüßen auf der Bühne aus Nordirland die aktuelle 33 der Welt mit einem Titel auf der Pro Tour, ein European Tour Viertelfinalist. Can you smell what the rock is cooking? It's Rocky Josh Rock! Sein Gegner kommt aus Hastings, England. Die aktuelle Nummer 5 der Welt. Der frühere World Matchplay Champion. Ein zweifacher European Champion und der frühere Champion of the World. It's Voltage Rock Rock!
It is rocking in Riesa after that fabulous display from Dirk van Dijvenbode in the previous match. Well, follow that, Rocky Josh Rock taking on Voltage Rob Cross. 2 players who've become good friends. Rob Cross acting as something of a mentor to Josh Rock and trusting him enough to say, look, if you think the ball's not straight, then I'll believe you and we'll get it sorted. And they have sorted things out on the hockey on a couple of occasions on the Euro Tour before. Both of the meetings last year, both of them going the way of Rob Cross. But Rob got close in Gibraltar 6-5 in a really good game of darts, won by the former world champion in the end. There are kind of similarities, Mark, between the emergences onto the darting scene of these 2 players. Rob Cross had sort of had a year on the Challenge Tour. He'd been an amateur qualifier at the UK Open before. but Reedy took the darting world by storm in his first year as a pro, and Josh Rock did something similar.
Yeah, well, no one was ever going to emulate the debut year of Rob Cross, but yeah, it's definitely comparisons, both explosive on the debut years. Josh Rock, particularly at the back end of last year, you think about that encounter with Michael Van Gerwen at the Grand Slam with the 9-dart leg, and then a run to the last 16 of the World Championships, and was ended by Johnny Clayton. But it's took him a while to find his best form here this year, Josh Rock, and he did make a quarterfinals last week in Leverkusen. He's been to a final of a Pro Tour, but really reaching their heights in terms of his stats at the back end of last year. But there was always going to be that little step off, because at times it was the standards were ridiculous, Chris, weren't they? He was going to find it hard to keep it going. But on the brink of the world's top 32, and it's just over a year into his career. It's fantastic to see from Josh Rock.
Yeah, well, he's secured his status, hasn't he, in the sport for at least a few years.
First leg is Josh to throw first. Game on.
Still not defending on the 2-year ranking system that darts has in the PDC. Good show of respect, but now that will be put to the back of their minds.
425.
Is it awkward? I mean, you've played, I'm sure, with friends. I'm sure you've got one or two, Mark, that you've played against on the big stages. Does it make it difficult, or do you just sort of go into that competitive bubble?
Just go into a competitive bubble. Don't take anything offensively. If your opponent gives it some, so be it. They're playing a competitive darts match for themselves, and I never took it personally, and you just get on with it. It's a game of darts. You're both looking out for each other, but at the end of the day, it's a selfish person's game. You're looking after number one, that's yourself. And for the next sort of half an hour or so, Rob Cross will be looking after Rob Cross, and Josh Rock will be looking after Josh Rock. They are great friends. It's all about a spot in the quarterfinals.
Yeah, I suppose it's something that maybe we
140.
look at too much. Myself as guilty of it as anybody else, but it's a sport really where you start out playing with your mates, don't you?
Yes, and players play their friends every week in this game, and you just got to get on with it, because you do find your little cliques on tour and playing.
VV Het Voetbalverhaal is dé podcast voor ongewone, unieke verhalen uit het voetbal. In deze wekelijkse serie neemt een topteam van vertellers je mee in de wonderlijke voetbalwereld. We vertellen over eilandengroep Micronesië en het slechtste team ooit. Over een Amsterdamse straatvoetballer die een DM krijgt van Ronaldinho. En over het grootste omkoopschandaal uit de Duitse voetbalgeschiedenis. Luister naar VV Het Voetbalverhaal. Overal waar je podcast luistert.
Dan gaan we over naar de prijsuitreiking bij de meisjes. En ja, ik weet niet wie het geschreven heeft, maar dat maakt verder niet uit. Als ik het verkeerd uitspreek, is het niet mijn schuld. Derde plaats geëindigd Chantal Tessin en Michelle Krug. Op de tweede plaats geëindigd bij de meisjes is Vardau de Jong. Evert, niet overal mee bemoeien, man. Door jou gaat het weer mis. En op de eerste plaats geëindigd bij de meisjes Daphne Kamijn. hier heb ik er weer zo eentje wat een beetje moeilijk te ontcijferen is. Bij de junioren gedeelde derde plaats zijn daar geëindigd Daniel Aalders en Sidney de Vries. Op de tweede plaats geëindigd in het juniorentoernooi is Cas Maassen. En de winnaar, ja we hebben er nog één even. En de winnaar juniorentoernooi Open Vries is Bradley van der Velde. We doen nog één keer een foto, wel bij het bord met de drie winnaars. Chantal, oh nee, niet helemaal niet. Daphne, Bradley en Ruben. En dit heeft Bas bedacht. Dames en heren, geef ze nog één keer een applaus. Daphne, Bradley en Ruben.